All right, everybody, right here, come to life. It's fantastic. It's really great to have you both with us, ladies. Thank you very much for being here. How are things going today? How's life? How is the convention for you so far?
I'm having a blast.
Excellent. You gotta use the microphone so they
Hi,
know you.
everybody.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? Ranger Stop and Pop Atlanta. Just gotta say it.
Yeah. I'm having a blast at Ranger Stop. I came here looking for a husband.
Don't tell some of these Ranger guys that.
I'm definitely scoping out all of the single Rangers. I haven't tasted the rainbow yet, but I'm about to. I did book a photo op with Roger Velasco in the suit. Got that yesterday.
Bucket list.
I did come up with like a top 8 things that I think everyone should do at Ranger Stop. So I've been, you know.
Sorry, go on.
That was number 5 on the list. That was number 5 on the list. Okay, so number 1, I thought obviously photo op with me and this babe. I think number 2, best thing to do is boogie with the bear and hang out with Karen Ashley, our yellow ranger. I think my top 3 is go hang out with Roger Velasco and party, because he's a party. My number 4 favorite thing to do is get Steve Cardenas to sign your butt. He tries to say no, but be persistent, and it might happen. I definitely posted when it happened to me. I said number 5, go hang out with JDF, and if you're lucky, he'll take you skydiving. We did that too. I think number 6, most important thing to do at Ranger Stop and Pop is to go by and steal Blake's belt, his championship belt. Just try and do it when he's not there, because if he's there, he'll like tackle you to the ground. So I recommend wearing flats and pants. So I did that yesterday. Yeah, I did it today too. I think number 7 most important thing you should do at Ranger Stop and Pop is hang out with my girl and get a chef's hat for when she's Randy and Mandy. Keep it authentic, and then you can come by, hang out with me, get some lemons. I've been pranking all the Rangers. It's my favorite thing to do. I give them some lemonade, and I wait till they leave, and then I go and I give them my lemons. Gotcha. So that's one thing I recommend. Come by, get you some lemonade, get you some lemons, and go leave them with people. Run by lemonade. Highly recommend.
Top 8?
Well.
That's
okay,
a good top 8?
Top 9.
Okay.
Get engaged to a Power Ranger.
We still have a Dana?
Yeah. Oh, I got time. It's gonna happen.
Katrina Johnson, everybody! Oh, I love it. You know, how's your time been, Angelique? Angelique, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up.
I'm not as excited as hers, but it's been awesome.
She had more of an itinerary planned out, it sounds like.
Yeah, but you know, I'm just gonna hang with her, and then I can get into all the fun stuff. I might be able to find a husband.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you did have some good luck at my parties.
I did. I mean, that's how I had my baby.
Exactly.
There you go.
Tried and true. I got you.
That's really true.
I got you.
I love it. 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 Now, we were talking about a fun improv game to play. How many of you guys were here for Power Rangers in Space today? Was anybody here for Power Rangers in Space? Handful of you guys. We played 2 truths and a lie in that game, and rather than play the game that's on the schedule, we wanted to play that again because it's just so fun. And what's the good thing about being an actress, right? You lie all the time. And, guilty. No, but it's, that's why I identify as an actor, so that whenever I'm not telling the truth, I'm acting. You can't ask me for that. Exactly, it's a part I'm playing. I don't know why she was in there. No, but it's a great, no, okay, of course. But let's play 2 truths and a lie, and who wants to go first? And then what we'll do is, she'll go first, because it was her idea. And then we will say, do you think number 1, number 2, or number 3 is the lie? And then we'll see what's the truth. All right.
Okay. I qualified for the Olympics twice in 2 different sports. I'm 5'4", and I like to play Ross Perot.
1.
What do you think? Oh, I forgot I'm not.
What
do you think? Who thinks number 1 is the lie? The lie is number 1. The lie is number 2. Number 2. Lies are number 2. Lies are number 3. Number 3. What do you think?
Okay, so no, I actually did qualify for the Olympics twice.
That's what I was thinking. Congratulations.
Once in judo and once in taekwondo.
So step back. Yeah.
Well, you know, that's why I like them Rangers.
That's it.
Hey, you know.
You can hang with that. Yeah, that's right. I don't think most of them can hang with you, to be honest.
They try. Number 2, I'm only 5 feet tall.
So there it is. That's the lie.
I can tell you're not that much. You're not taller than me.
Oh, so not bad. So that's good.
But I did like to play Ross Pro. So
Yeah, I feel like it's fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to? Big ears.
money.
Yeah.
Get all that money. The money is fun to play with.
That's wouldn't it be?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Angelique, what do you think?
Okay, let's see. 1, I trained to be a sheriff deputy. 2, I have 7 cats. 3,
That was my doing.
What do you think, guys? Who thinks number 1 was the lie? Who thinks number 2 was the lie? Big handful of people. And who thinks number 3 is the lie? Do we have big news on the way? What's going on?
so 3 was the lie.
God, I wasn't going to say anything, but... Well,
2 was the lie.
oh.
So a lot of people don't realize that I actually trained to be a sheriff deputy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I actually changed my mind at the last minute.
Also, a lot of people don't know that she's a cheater because it's called Two Truths.
Either way.
A lot of people don't realize I don't really listen either. I make my own rules.
That's it. That's the point. You win as long as you play by the right rules, right? And then if you're losing, just change them.
You see, that's why I couldn't be a sheriff deputy because I don't.
That's it. I do see how the two wouldn't necessarily go hand in hand.
Right.
But she does look good with the handcuffs.
Yes.
Mm.
And the badge.
Okay, we got it out there. All right, do you want to do another round? You have 3 more in you. Do you have?
Always.
Okay. Here we go.
Multitasker.
Let's do another one here.
Okay. I went to culinary school, but I got kicked out because I started a fire.
Well, that's true.
No faith. I like to fly private jets, and I've never dated a Power Ranger.
You like to fly on private jets or a pilot on a private jet?
I like to fly on them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know pilots. So what do you think? Who thinks number 1?
I actually do have my pilot's license.
That's really cool. Awesome. So who thinks number 1 is the answer? Or the lie. And there's 2 people who think it doesn't matter. As everybody's here. All right, who thinks number 2 is the lie? All right, a handful of people. And who thinks number 3 is the lie? All right, it's the same hands every time. I don't get that. That's perfect. All right, so what do we think? What was number 2?
Yeah.
The pilot thing was the airplane thing was number 2. Dating a Power Ranger was number 3. In culinary school, I started a fire, which you definitely did do.
I did do that. I did go to culinary school. I did get kicked out. I did start a fire. The first day was so embarrassing, I never went back. We were making cheese curds. They had this big, huge pot of water, and you're supposed to put the curds from a bag into there, and then you make like burrata or something, but I didn't get that far because my cheese went all the way under into the fire, started a grease fire, went up in smoke. It was so embarrassing. You can't live that down. Also, I almost lost my eyebrows. Like, it was not cute. I never went back. Can't cook to this day. But it's okay, because I'm just going to steal a chef's hat from Angelique.
So, have you dated a Power Ranger yet? I should say.
No, smile, tell us.
All of the itty-gritty details of all of my Power Ranger exploits are available on Uncensored Radio.
There you go.
But that's a yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You can find out which flavors and who, what, when, and
What
how.
color?
Mhm.
Oh my God. Well, there we have it. There we have it. So we determined the airplane thing, right? Is it there? So that's what I thought. That wasn't true. If you weren't listening either. I stopped paying attention and I was even talking, so that's great.
So So 2 truths.
Why?
and 1 lie.
2 truths and 1 lie. It's
Okay.
hard to only tell 1 lie, I know. It's so easy. That makes you fast.
So
Exactly, kid.
I was mentored by Dave Chappelle. I
I like that one. That's true. That's true. That was real.
I have traveled all over the world. And let's see, what could be a third one? A third one could be, I made the swim team, but I'm a lousy swimmer.
That could happen. All right, who do you think the first one is the lie? Who thinks number 1 is the lie? Number 2. Who thinks number 2 is the lie? 2 people. And number 3, the swim team. A lot of people think you didn't make the swim team. What is it, Angelique?
So the lie was traveling all over the world.
Really?
Yes.
So you have not traveled all over the world. So there we go. So you made it on a swim team despite swimming.
So that was weird. Okay, so I was surprised. I was actually wearing flippers, and it was at the Y. And I guess they weren't paying attention. And I don't know if they were desperate or something, but I was racing somebody. And I ended up beating the person that was actually on the swim team. They were like, hey, you want to be on the swim team? I'm like, hey, yeah, sure. But I don't know how to swim. So,
They just let her in. 'Cause
Either
she
way,
looks
you
good in
filled
a
up the
bathing
team.
suit.
Yeah,
That's
that's
I
it.
filled up the
It's
team.
the outfit.
You filled out
They
a
get
place.
you in the outfit. That's why they let you in.
Until they took the flippers off and I almost drowned.
Oh, well, you tried. You gave it an
I
effort.
tried. That's a true story.
Excellent. So you guys are pretty good at determining, at least for the majority, which one was the lie. So I'm proud of you guys for that. Give it up for these 2 for playing the game virtually here. And if you want to come on as you're welcome to as we ask these questions, and then you can just figure out if you're telling the truth or not. It'll be fun that way. But yeah, you guys, wonderful to have you with us in Ready to Stop and Pop. Glad you're here. It's a pop cultural weekend of all kinds. But I wanted to ask you, these guys are going to have some questions for you in a minute. But as we get going, I want to talk about all that. What a unique kind of show. You know, we've got the SNL for adults, and this was kind of that, sort of thing. Getting involved in that. Obviously, being actresses is one thing, but to get involved in a show of that variety, when you started out, getting in there through the auditions, doing the thing, and being a part of it, I guess I would say, what is that like? But I mean, that's what everybody asks you. But what was your process?
Well, I had 7 different auditions. And I was actually very lucky because at the time I had been doing a lot of improv. And the audition was all improv. They're like, get with this group, act this out. Get with this group, act that out. Do these voices, do that impression. What can you do? Give me a funny monologue, do all this. And I was lucky that I had already been practicing all of that. And a kid from my class who I'd already done all of the improv with was in the audition with me.
Wow.
But they still put me for the ringer, and I still had to go in 7 other times. So, yeah. But
Remember any of the sketches?
it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the sketch? Do one. Do one of your auditions right now.
Do an audition sketch. You can't put her on the spot like that. She's not auditioning. You're not going to pay her. Maybe. Oh boy, yeah. But yes, but that's fine, yeah. What was it like for you though, Angelique? I want to hear that part.
The process was pretty much the same. I feel like
Yeah.
we were pushing like 10. We
Through
did
the
it for a
ringer
couple
over and
of
over and
months.
over.
Yeah.
Chemistry with each other, stuff
Yeah,
like
and they'd
that.
be like, oh, we love you. We think you're great. And then it's just like you wouldn't hear
But
them
we'll call
for
you in
like-
3 months and
Yeah,
maybe tell
and
you.
that's what was
By
happening.
the time you
Because-
already think you're out of the running, and then you're like,
Yeah.
audition 6.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they went all over the country, so
Yeah.
they would leave us hanging because they were in other towns looking for other people
Yeah.
and
Right.
trying to see who
Can we do
would mix
better? Let's see.
together.
Right, and they cut it.
Obviously.
Of course not. That's why you're sitting here. Yeah.
Really?
It's
And
amazing.
no one could beat my Earth.
Hmm?
I said no one could beat my Earth.
That's
Man, what a time. That's so
Yeah.
cool. All right, guys, who out here has questions? Oh, before you go, I'm going to go out there real quick. There's a couple of them out there coming out. What would you today tell those 2 that were starting out on this journey?
I would tell myself, definitely break into Sequest that was filming next door. Go harass Justin Brandis. They will not arrest you.
See, there you go. Worst that can happen is they ask you to leave.
Yeah.
And then you make all these
And
weird
they
connections.
just pushed me next door where I already was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know that. See,
See, yeah, that's it.
Thought it was
Forgiveness, not
dangerous.
permission back then. We didn't know. We didn't know.
I was little, I was unthreatening.
That's our lesson.
Mhm.
What do you think, Angelique?
I would tell myself to run and be a nun. No. I would tell myself to never give up. Just no matter what, just keep going.
I like that.
Yeah.
Even if it takes you to Sequest.
Right. Which I went to a lot.
Yeah. I mean, why not? It's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw a couple hands already go up down here. I'm going to start with Ken up front, and we'll just work our way back through the room. I'll bring the mic down so we can have these questions on the record, because it's always good that this is on the record, right? Here we go, Ken.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Katrina.
Oh,
Can you do your super dude spiel in character?
well, I don't know. Did you have a question?
What is lactose intolerant?
Lactose intolerant means you can't digest dairy products. You're allergic to certain things like cream, milk, ice cream, and cows.
That was good, Ken.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
I wanted you to elaborate more, if you don't mind, about Dave Chappelle mentoring you. You kind of just didn't talk about that. And that obviously was true, so that's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Like, I would love to hear more about that.
Thank you. I was in Damon Wayne's laugh camp for the Laugh Factory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was one of the first African-American Haitian to graduate, the youngest. And that was my first paid job at the Laugh Factory. And Jay Moore was also my mentor, too.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Great job.
Accomplishment.
Hey, how y'all two doing?
Great.
Okay, so I love the show and I love everything y'all doing, but I got a question. Is there somebody on the show that y'all just didn't like to work with? Sorry, put you. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I was saying, is there somebody on the show that y'all didn't like to work with? I just want to say it 2 times.
Well, I do recall I got in trouble one day for spitting milk on Angelique. So I know for a fact that she did not like working with me that day. We were doing this scene where we had to laugh and spit out milk at the same time, and the only rule was don't spit directly on someone, and she was sitting across from me, and I just nailed her in the face. I got in so much trouble, I was like, oh boy, I can never do that again. But, you know, as you can see, we've since made up.
Yeah,
But,
we're besties.
but for sure, she did not like working with me then.
Okay, we'll ride with that one. That's the one we're here.
Got him over here?
Okay, so all that had a lot of great musical artists that came on in the 90s, and you guys had a lot of great guests. Who was like your favorite artist to like watch perform like at the end of the show?
I got one.
That's good. Good question.
My favorite was Usher. He was little. He was a baby. He had chubby cheeks. He wasn't that like sexy thing he is now. He was like a little chubby round baby like me. So I was like, this is awesome. He's so cool. I love him. And then I later ran into him years on down the road, and we ended up going to the World Music Awards together. And we're homies. He's cool. He's awesome. And I'll never forget meeting him when he was little and chubby like me. And it gives me hope.
I don't know what she's talking about. He was fine back then. I like the little chubby. We ate boogers and slime in the gas kitchen and all that.
You got farther than I did. But who was your favorite to watch?
Oh, to watch. I'm sorry, I got Usher. You know what I mean? I would probably say, wow, it's really hard because we had so many great artists. Debrex. And I will say Debrex, I'm mad at myself that I took so long to even think of that. She was actually a birthday present because they had asked me what I wanted for my 13th birthday. And I gave them this list that literally, remember, it had like 100 things on it. Because I mean, no one ever asked me that. So I had like 100 things, and Denzel Washington was one of the 100 things on there. So I don't know if you guys remember the Christmas episode where I sit on Santa's lap and I'm just like, I want Denzel Washington. That's where they got it from. So I got everything, all 99, but that one. So the brat ended up being brought on. I wanted the cassette tape, and they brought her, so that was even much better.
Wow, yeah.
Also, they clearly liked Angelique much more because they never gave a shit about my birthday. I didn't get a card, I didn't get a cake, I didn't get a candle, and I sure did not get no brat.
It's not fair. It's just not fair. Let's go right here.
Hey guys.
What's up, Cody?
Hi. Okay, so your seasons were probably some of the best they had, but did you watch any of the future seasons? And if so, what was the downfall of all that? Like, no, I'm saying, like, what is the formula that changed that kind of made it feel different than your season?
We weren't there.
There's that, yeah? And one final one. Can you please do your Ross Perot spiel for me, please?
Am I talking French? Am I spewing mercies and bonjours?
Fantastic.
If you could be on any show where they do improv, what would it be?
Well, I mean, I like all that, but if I had to pick a different one, I'd probably pick Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I still watch it.
I would probably, and I only say this because I rap too, so I probably would say Wild 'N Out.
Not too shabby. Good answer, good answer. Anybody else got one out here? Yeah, I thought I saw you. There you go. 1 and 2.
Are you still doing any more acting roles or any future projects coming up?
We're working on a show called Child Star Reboot, which is going to be a couple of other child stars that you guys may have forgotten or wondered where they are. We have Marquise from Hanging with Mr. Cooper. You have Latangela, right? We have Latangela from Taina.
Oh,
wow! You know, so there's more. You have Latanya Ross from Alex Mack. So, and might just see Katrina on there too.
Is this on a YouTube channel or a network?
No, it's going to be on a network. You guys just follow us and you listen to Uncensored Radio and you'll get the updates. Make sure you guys subscribe. I did a project with Tammy Romaine, was it Bonnet Chronicles? I was on there. I did something for Tim and Eric. I was the Bub lady. And I was in 35 and Chicken where I was a crib.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good.
And I just do, I just stand up every now and then. So I'm still staying busy. I'm working on my music, and you guys are gonna see a lot more of me.
I miss you guys on TV. Every Saturday night on SNCC.
Right.
Goodness, couldn't get enough of the show.
What about you?
Well, everything she said, and you can catch us on all of our old episodes coming out on Netflix next week.
That's awesome.
Paramount Plus?
Well, Paramount Plus now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
thanks.
then next week, Netflix.
There you go. They always bounce around.
Uncensored Radio live.
Yeah.
We're both on.
Awesome. You ready?
My question for both of y'all. When you was doing all that, were you interacting with the other cast members, like after we all playing, like, I don't know, pranks on or anything? Were there any like downtime activities where you was getting into a lot of mischief?
Hell to the yeah. I'm still pranking people. I'm pranking all these people. I wasn't having on anything with them. Absolutely. I was a prankster, still am a prankster, still pranking people. Yes. I had a long-running prank that went 3 years long against Dan Schneider, one of the producers. He used to really like to go to Hooters, allegedly for the wings, but okay.
They do have
I don't think it was the wings, I think it was the things. So I got word of this, that he would always go to Hooters at least once a week, sometimes twice. So I would make my parents take me into Hooters, and I would get memorabilia every single time I was there, and I would get some hot chick to sign it every single week. At least one item. I would sneak into his desk, I would leave it on top, And then at the end of the year, at season 3, I left a paternity lawsuit on his desk. I said that he was getting sued by all the Hooters girls, and he was the baby daddy. That's pretty good. That's so good. Yeah, I like pranks. That's fun.
Yeah, I got another question for you too. I'm always wondering, do you still get the revenue from all that?
Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you something. Okay. First of all, let's start out by saying we weren't on dollar Odeon, okay? Nickel Odeon. And when I get a residual check, it's about a nickel. If you want to watch my stories, catch me on the socials. I will post my checks. You can see how we're balling out of control because I'll get like 30 checks and it'll add up to $10 or less.
See, I don't know what year you started seeing residuals, but I didn't start seeing residuals until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were $1, 5 cents, $5.
Yeah.
But if you put all those together, that's like 25.
You could afford my lemon, just one.
I just got a 3-cent one too.
3 cents, yeah.
Yeah, 3 cents. That goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly. And while we were talking, gas went up 11 cents. So
Oh, see?
just, I mean, this.
I have to put that towards it.
Yeah.
Angelique,
Yes.
you and Nick Cannon, who's the better rapper?
I am.
Yeah! Can we hear a little something?
I have a plaque and everything. No, I do have a plaque though. Remember back in the time, the only song we had was Pickets, but now with 2 G's, it be this way. So they call Wicked G gang is killing others for colors, things that we wear for fashion. Other brothers take it for a reason to be blasting. What the cuff is going on? That's all I but others, but had another singing the same song. See, I stand across the street from the project. Took out your mama stress and groceries. So we're trying to keep your pockets. Felt like say you leave. Only been a double week for some show. And I pray to God, but I should have pulled it.
Hey.
So earlier you guys mentioned that if you could be on any improv shows, it would be Wild and Out and Whose Line. I wanted to ask, do you guys have any favorite actors on those shows and why?
I think our favorite actor on those shows is obviously Nick Cannon.
But why?
Because
That was the follow-up question.
he started out as our audience guy, our audience warm-up guy. And then he eventually was on the show, and then he was eventually on his own show. So we kind of just watched him come up. And then he came way up.
Yeah.
And he married Mariah. What?
I'll take my answer.
I want to marry Mariah.
I want to marry Mariah too.
I wanted to know what your skincare routine is because you're glowing. You look amazing. Both of y'all.
Oh, I was like, thank you. So
Well, plastic surgery. And a lot of makeup. Thank you. I'm actually really lucky and I don't really have to do anything for myself.
That is great, yeah.
My mama's jeans and soap and water. No, I do use some Penny, so I gotta give a shout out to Rihanna. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I gotta give a shout out to Botox.
Jen, I'll give it the results then, right? I mean, there you go. Anybody else out there got anything? Yeah, right in front. I knew it. I could tell.
But clearly you two are still friends. Is there any others that you're still friends with from the old group?
Hell no.
Because like when you're a child actor, I mean like you're together during your early years and kind of.
Oh yes, you grow up together. Well, I will say that I don't think everybody liked me when I was young because I was super annoying. It's okay. I've dealt with it, a lot of therapy. It's okay. No, but I would say we're closer now because then I was a baby. I was like 10. They were older, so they didn't really want to be my friend. She was my friend. But I would say we're closer, I think, now because we can relate a lot more. And whenever we meet up and have reunions or just hangouts, we all go support each other. If someone's doing a show, we all go. And it's really cool because we catch up. It's like a high school reunion all the time.
I'm really close with Kel, because we both went to the same church. He's a pastor. He actually rebaptized me, and then he baptized my 2 children. I still talk to Josh. I saw Keenan after like 20 years, 2 years ago, when they relaunched all that. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and her, of course, but I mean, you guys already knew that.
Yeah.
What is your favorite character and or skit you've ever done?
That's a lot of sense.
Okay, I got 2. Lemonade Scammer. I loved because I like to harass people, I like to scam people, and I love money.
Free, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win. I loved doing Ross Pro, but it was a pain in the ass because I had to do makeup for at least 3 hours. So it was 3. In the end, they got it down to like 2.5, but it was 3 hours to put on and then another 30 minutes to an hour to take off. And they would glue on all of these prosthetics, and nose, ears, wig cap, all this stuff. So when they took it off, it would always like rip out all the little baby hairs. Oh, I'm part Greek and part Chewbacca. And it just give me a fresh cleanup, all that waxing without the wax.
Okay, so I would probably say the Randy and Mandy, and it would be the one where we were in the tub, because that day I got to meet Immature and I had the biggest crush on them. The only thing that sucked was I still smelled like chocolate. At least I was tasting it.
Could be worse.
I used to run into them all the time in Burbank. They were my neighbors.
I went to school.
I would go ride my bike to Church's Chicken and they'd be there.
Church.
Oh, Popeyes, I lied. It was a Popeyes. It was a Popeyes.
We going to Church's Chicken after this.
Right?
See you there.
So you guys you talked about the Ross Pro makeup taking 2 to 3 hours. How did that work for you guys with an did y'all have a live audience there? Or did y'all, so how did that work with them? Did they just have to wait for the 2 hours while you put on makeup?
No. So we'd go to school 3 days and rehearse 3 days. And then the last 2 days of the week, we wouldn't go to school. We would film all day long. We would film all of the stunts and all of the character things on Thursday. And then the live audience would come in on Friday. So the live audience didn't have most of the stunts and the prosthetics because we didn't have time to get in and out of it. Sometimes we would, but if we do, then we're kind of stuck and we're only that character for the whole day. Or half the day or longer than the TV.
What was the reason you guys decided to leave the show?
Spill the tea. Okay, I'll go. Puberty. They hired me as the baby, and then, some things happened, thank God. And I was no longer such a baby, and I got sick of it. They would duct tape my boobs down, they would ace bandage me, make me look like a little boy, make me look like a baby. And people didn't know I was Ross Pro and I was a girl, so that would drive me crazy because they would always say this young boy. And I was like, but I wanted to be a girl. I wanted to be girly, I wanted to be sexy, I wanted to be hot. And then I went to college and became a video hub. And then I felt validated in that.
That could be worse.
A good ride.
That was a good question. Oh, up here we go. Dennis.
Yeah. Do you two think that Amanda, Keenan Kel, and Nick Cannon deserve their own shows?
Well, I mean, they already had their own shows.
That was a close.
Together?
No, I think he meant
No, I know what he was talking about.
Does anybody want to hear some real
Yes.
dirty juice?
Yes. Up to you.
Okay, what happened was I wrote my own show. and they are going to produce it, call it the Katrina Johnson Show. And then I went through puberty, didn't look so young anymore, so they gave all of my writing, all of my skits, my whole entire show to Amanda, and that became the Amanda Show. And I wrote it, and they own it. So I'm a little bitter, but like it's cool.
Did you get any credit?
Zero.
No, of course not.
So how it works is you're allowed to write anything, and they will, if it's good and they like it, they'll produce it. So we wrote a lot of our own sketches, a lot of our own lines, and then anything you write while you're with them, while you're under contract, they own.
So was Amanda Bynes sort of set up to be your replacement? Because she also started out very young, playing sort of like little girl.
Well, she was technically Angelique's replacement, but she was my fault. So,
Yeah.
you know, I did this to my damn self. What happened was, I was doing stand-up at the Laugh Factory. I didn't get to do a cool thing like Angelique did, but I was, I don't know, maybe 13, maybe 12. I was young, and I was doing stand-up comedy at Laugh Factory. I had the producers and director from the show come and watch, and there was a very cute little girl, Amanda Bynes, performing 2 segments after me, and I was like, take a look at her. She's really cute, she's really funny, she's really good. You should use her for something else. So that happened. Oops.
Life.
That's it. That's Hollywood. You try to be nice.
Yeah, comes fast.
And then you get replaced.
But
I was gonna ask about more with the writing thing, right? So like, during that time when you guys were writing your own sketches and stuff like that, you weren't allowed to have like credits on it, like saying like, you know, end credits and stuff, like, or is it like a Nickelodeon thing where they're just like, we own your likeness, so therefore whatever you think is what we think as well, or? Because I feel like you guys deserve money for that, you know.
Well,
like
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not big on money.
Or credit.
We barely got street cred. Yeah, no, they don't credit you for anything because then they would have to pay you. So they just put it in one big balloon statement in your contract that, you know, in the fine print, that anything you create while under contract is theirs. But also, there's a writer in the contract, a non-compete, so you can't write for yourself, and you can't write for anybody else, and you can't create for other entities while you're under contract for that.
Wow.
They own you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm glad you guys are out of it, you know.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Me too.
That is crazy.
So I own, actually, this guy right here bought me that, the Slime Nickelodeon book. And I was wondering, because I read that book, like, the parents. Was there any parents that y'all dealt with from other actors or y'all parents in general that might have got on your nerves or y'all didn't particularly like?
Hell yeah. I did not like Angel. No. Got him. You're awake. I like that. I like that about you. No. I was highly annoyed by Elisa Reyes' mom, Brenda. Yeah, I said it was. She was annoying. She was overbearing. She was always in my business. Also, I was jealous because Elisa was allowed to have like junk for breakfast. She could have Coke and Pepsi, and I wasn't allowed to have sugar, so I had to sneak mine, and she could have hers just out and open.
I would say there are a couple. I won't say no names, but I would probably say because it kind of contributed. They didn't think I knew, but I found out later. They kind of contributed to my exit from the show.
So you mentioned that you had written some of the sketches and like the ideas for the Amanda show. No, the Amanda show.
It wasn't called that at the time.
So I was going to ask and see, were there any of the skits and sketches that were actually like shown with Amanda that we would know?
Oh.
You came up with Man Hey Girl? Like,
No, not that one.
oh, okay.
But everything that I wrote, they did produce, and they did.
Oh my
Yeah, all
gosh.
that.
The main one.
Wow, that's crazy.
But they also did that to a friend of mine, Lisa Foyles. Like, they're known for doing this.
I want to say thank you for coming to the convention. Thank you for taking a picture with my tattoo.
We love that tattoo.
I sent a picture to my older sister, and she freaked out, and she wanted me to say that you two were very instrumental in both of us growing up, actually enjoying sketch comedy.
Thank you.
Thank you for the entertainment, for the fun, for the laughs in a world that desperately needs them. Thank you for growing up to be wonderful people. That doesn't always happen in the industry.
I hate him to say that.
And just thank you for joining us here in Atlanta. Oh, and just stop and pop. That's about it. Please give it up for these two. They're all that. And they'll be at the tables, right? You'll be around. Yeah. Answer some questions. Have some fun.